What's going on, guys? Gold here, and welcome to my long-awaited 1,000 sub special. Before we begin, I just want to say thank you all so much for 1,000 subs. It means the world that we are growing this fast. We are almost at 2,000 subs already, which is just honestly mind-boggling. You guys are just the best, and I can't thank you guys enough, and it'd be awesome if you guys can drop a like, and I'll see you guys in the video. Welcome to my 1,000 sub special, everybody. Before we begin, I just want to say thank you all so much, and if you guys can drop a like, that would be freaking awesome. And let's aim. I'm gonna set a like goal I haven't set before. Let's aim for 300 likes. That would be freaking crazy. And also, before we begin, as you can probably tell, this is going to be a voiceover of some gameplay I recorded, so it's not going to be me talking and focusing on the gameplay. It's going to be me focusing on my 1,000 sub special. So yeah, basically where the 1,000 sub special takes place, and so if you guys don't know already, my 1,000 sub special is basically my Minecraft history and how I started and how I got into PvP and stuff. So basically where it starts out is 7th grade in middle school. That is where it starts out. I was one of those guys who made fun of people that played Minecraft, I was one of those guys who just hated Minecraft. I thought it was going to be like a boring game. I never knew Minecraft had a multiplayer aspect. I thought it was just single player and you just build stuff and killed cows and stuff. That's basically what I thought Minecraft was, and I hated it. And then my friend named Tucker, there was this guy named Tucker in my class, and he played Minecraft a lot at recess. We didn't have recess, sorry. I mean at lunchtime and in class. When we had like breaks and stuff, we played it. And it was funny because he was playing with other people, and I was like, how are you doing this? How are you playing with other people? And he was like, you big noob, there's a multiplayer aspect. And I was mind boggled. I was like, really? Why didn't I know about this? And it was just the funniest thing because I was one of those people who like called people nerds for playing Minecraft. So I was like, oh, you play Minecraft, you're a big nerd. Well, look at me now, I'm a big nerd. So that's basically how I got into Minecraft. I started, my friend Tucker actually got me into Minecraft, taught me everything I know today. He didn't teach me PvP. We're getting to that. But basically, that's how I got into Minecraft. And then, so how I got into Hunger Games. So when the first Hunger Games came out, I watched it, and I loved the movie. I'm a huge Hunger Games fan. And then I read online that there was a Hunger Games aspect for Minecraft, and this was in around 8th grade. Like, I didn't play Minecraft that much in 7th grade, even when he told me. At around 8th grade, I found out about Hive, hivemc.eu. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a Hunger Games server and other minigame server. So basically, that's where I started playing. I had when I first started playing, the first match of Hunger Games I ever played, like the first game ever, I won. And it was just crazy because I was like, whoa, you can actually get points and rank up and stuff and get on the leaderboards. And that's basically how I got into Minecraft. I basically taught myself PvP. I had no teacher, nothing. Basically, there was this game called Crossfire that I played competitively. If you guys don't know what Crossfire is, it's like this crappy online FPS shooter game. And I used to play it with my team, and we like used to win a bunch of tournaments. And you know, I'd say definitely I was one of the top players on there because I had really good aim in any game. I could like get headshots easily, and most people think that that game is like easy to get kills, but it's honestly not. That's what my friend thought, and then he downloaded it, I started playing. He could not get a kill off me. It was funny, but basically, that's basically how I got good at Minecraft, was because of Crossfire, because I was so good with aiming with the mouse and stuff and pinpointing people that I actually used those skills and used them in Hunger Games, and that's basically how I started killing people. You know, I spam clicked obviously, but that's not what I did in Crossfire. I figured out that in Minecraft, if you spam click really fast, like the faster your sword hits. So I started doing that, and I had some crappy mouse back then. I had like some weird Logitech cheap one. And basically, that's how I got good at PvP, I'd say, as I kept practicing, and I never knew about the fishing rod tactic. I actually saw people using that in videos, and my friends were telling me about it. I never watched Huawei or Grape or any YouTubers at this time. Basically, my friends actually taught me about the fishing rod. They're like, you can actually knock people back and hit them. And I was like, whoa, you can actually do that? So I tried it out for myself. Of course, the couple first games, it didn't work out. I was like, how do people do this? This is crazy. This is just crazy. It doesn't work. And then as I started progressing in Minecraft, started getting high on the leaderboards, on Hive, I was actually pretty up there on the leaderboards on my alt account that I don't have anymore, that I sold. I was in the top not 500, yeah, 500s. I was gonna say 50s, but I was in the top 500s, guys, and it was just crazy because, you know, I was getting pretty up there, and I was starting to get noticed. Like, people were like, oh, hey, this guy's playing. I don't want to name my old account name. But they're like, oh, hey, he's in here, and like my stats were just terrific on there. I had like around I'd say around 900 wins. and around 900 wins and about 1,800 games, around there, around 2,000 games played, and it was just crazy how good I was, and I was like, whoa. But like the one thing I hated about Hive was my connection. I thought it was just my computer at first, because I didn't have a pretty good computer right there back then, and I was a big noob at Minecraft still. All I knew was how to get into a server and vote for a map, and Team Underbridge, Team Baka, please Team Underbridge. But basically, that's how I got high on the leaderboards, and then Hive, and then I started figuring, like, my friends started telling me, like, dude, it's actually your connection why your fishing rod isn't going that far and why you can't really hit people. And I was like, well, are there any good servers I can play on that would be good and my ping would be good? And they were like, try out MCSG, it's a pretty good server. And all my friends back then were all from Hive. I met them all on Hive, and they were really cool dudes. I still have them on Skype, but we rarely talk, and that's basically how I got into MCSG. So my friend told me about that server, and I got the worst first impression on MCSG. The first time I started playing MCSG, it was in their lag stages when like it was back when they didn't even have a hub where you actually had to join a game, back when Beijing Canadian still played. That's basically when I started MCSG, and you know, the lag was just so bad on their servers, and I got the worst impression. I was like, whoa, MCSG sucks completely. I'm never playing on here. And basically I played 2 games on MCSG and lost both. That's basically, I got the worst impression because of the lag, and you know, that's sort of fixed now, but it still lags. But I understand why, because of their I guess their spigot or something, or I don't know, because of their connection and stuff, and sometimes they get DDoSed. And basically, I started playing on Hive more and more, and like every time my friend was like, hey, want to play on MCSG, I was like, no way, hell no, I ain't doing that today. And that's basically how I didn't get into MCSG. So I played Hive for a little bit, and then Hive actually I started getting really bad connection on there. Like, my connection just got worse. My fishing rod would take like 3 seconds to actually go out, and that's when I was like, oh, okay, I have to try MCSG. So I actually ended up getting Iron Donor on there, and I could join games easier, because back then, guys, it was so hard to get into those games. Like, just copying the IP and then pasting it in there was so hard. So basically, getting into games on MCSG was really hard, and sorry about that, I had to cut the recording because I actually got interrupted. So what's a good recording we get without getting interrupted, guys? I mean, come on now. You guys know me, I get interrupted quite a lot in my recording. So basically, getting into games on MCSG was so hard without Donor, because it used to be so popular, and they didn't used to have that many servers back then, because Beijing Canadian and Jerome fans and all of them played MCSG. And you know, that's when I started getting used to it. When Beijing Canadian around when Beijing Canadian quit, I started getting used to it. Well, he didn't quit, he sort of got banned for using Better Sprint mod after getting told countless times to not use it, but I'm not gonna get into that because that's not I don't need to put my nose there. But basically, what ended up happening is that I made a really tough decision. It was a tough decision to switch from Hive to MCSG, and I chose MCSG due to this fact, because the community was just nicer on MCSG. And for me, for playing Hive for 2 years and for playing MCSG for around 1.5 years, basically I noticed that the community on MCSG was just way better, in my opinion. Like, people were nicer on there. People weren't saying like GG, Rec 420, YY, Steamworld, Fajita, something like that. People weren't doing that in chat. They were like nice to each other. When somebody died, we said, oh, good game. That was a really good fight. At Skype team, Skype was a really big thing back then. Sky Does Minecraft, I think, it started like the whole Skype team. But basically, what ended up happening is that Hive community was just sort of getting bad. Like, every time I died or every time I killed somebody, I got accused of hacking. I got accused of like just a bunch of things. And then when I died, people were like, GG wrecked. You got wrecked, mate. You suck. And I was just like, whoa, okay, you don't need to take it that far. I mean, you killed me. Like, doesn't that make you happy? So basically, I chose MCSG, and that was honestly a really good decision in my part, because I still do play on Hive, and I do like Hive. Like, there's no conflict between the servers. I like both servers equally. They're both basically the same aside from the connection. But I mean, Hive has more people, because when Beijing Canadian got banned, he switched to Hive, and then that's when he sort of gave MCSG a bad reputation. But MCSG honestly isn't that bad. The people are still really nice on there, but there's some people that are just rude. And hackers weren't a thing back then. If you guys didn't know, I don't know if how long you guys have been playing, but hackers were not a thing back then. I've never ran into a hacker back then, and you know, I knew about the hacks because my friend was a hacker. Yeah, I played with a hacker friend. But he was a hacker, and he told me all the hacks. There was like aimbot, like when you kill somebody you did like 360. It was like this weird thing. So basically what ended up happening is that I deleted my friend off Skype because he got banned on Hive, and he was accusing me of hacking, which was total crap because he wanted to take me down with him. So basically I didn't get banned on Hive, but he did, and I knew about all the hacks back then. So I never ran into a hacker once, like on Hive or MCSG. And then back in like 2012, 2013, 2014, like a bunch of hackers have just been playing like crazy, and you know, it's just sort of bad. And sometimes you just have to take a break from anything, basically, because you know, I used to be like a huge freak. I used to get home from school straight to Minecraft because that's how obsessed I was with it. And now, you know, since I played it 24/7, now I'm sort of getting sort of bored of it. And when you get bored of something you enjoy, that's when you know that you should probably take a break. So I'm not gonna take a break off Minecraft, obviously. I mean, I still love it, but back then I took like a month break. When I came back, I was in like the top 2000s then. Like my stats just went to crap, and then I was on MCSG. I was around top 1000s at the max, but I didn't really have that good of a ratio on MCSG because back then I really trolled on MCSG. I wasn't really a competitive player on MCSG as I was on Hive. So on MCSG, basically what I did was like troll people with like swords and stuff, and troll with my friends, just had a good time. And then I started getting more competitive, and that's when I bought a new account, which is not Gold Ellipse. I bought another account, and my ratio on there was just insane. I had a 1-2 ratio. It was about 300 wins and around 400 something games. And it was just an insane ratio. It was around 400 or 500. It was just a really insane ratio. And then, you know, I started trolling that account because my friend put it in my mind that MCSG is retarded and it's a dumb server. So, you know, I loved my friends. They were really cool guys, and I listened to them. So I switched to Hive again. Then every time I play on MCSG on my new account, I trolled, and that's when my ratio went to crap on that account. And basically, I just made the final decision just to quit Hive. Not quit completely, because I still kind of like the game modes on there, but just quit my MCSG on there, basically, because MCSG is Minecraft Survival Games. So just basically quit Hunger Games on that server, and that's when I started playing on MCSG more on my other account, and I sort of brought my ratio back up. It wasn't that good. It was like a 1/3 ratio, and you know, I started getting noticed on there because I used to have another YouTube back then that had around 200 subs, I'd say, and I wasn't growing as fast as I am now. Mainly because I didn't have that good of a computer and not good rendering software and recording software. So basically, I started getting noticed. Like, people actually knew who I was, and you know, I really liked that feeling. And I just heard somebody yell downstairs. Oh my god, I hate it when people do that. I'm sorry, I had to go silent there to see. But basically, what ended up happening is that I actually left my friends and left for MCSG. I started getting noticed, and it was a really good feeling when people said, "Hey, Gold." I'm gonna say Gold because I don't want to tell you guys my 2 accounts that I had, but just in case I record on them. But except for the one I sold, I still have the other one I used to play on that had the really good ratio, and the other one I sold. But basically, what ended up happening is I started getting noticed. I'm just gonna say, I'm just gonna say that my old account was Gold. Let's just say it's Gold. People were like, "Hey, Gold, I know who you are. I watch your YouTube." And you know, that was a really good feeling for me back then. You know, I loved it, and I still love it now when I see you guys supporting me and saying that you know me and Screeny. I love doing that. It's like the greatest feeling in the world. And I honestly, that's when I started switching to MCSG. Like, the community was just so nice, and then I ended up quitting YouTube and taking another break from Minecraft. And then I came back 1 month later, played for a little bit, and that's when Gold Ellipse was born. I bought an account, and I was like, what's a really good username that has to do with Minecraft? And I was like, Gold Ellipse, and that's basically where my username originated from. If you guys don't know what an ellipse is, it's basically an oval, basically like a circle oval, I'd say. And basically, since I was looking at the sun in Minecraft, and I was like, well, the sun is square, but the sun in real life is oval, so why not just say Gold Ellipse, because the sun is basically gold. And that's basically how my username was invented. And then my friends were like, hey, I do YouTube, you should do YouTube too. And you know, they had really great YouTubes, and I was like, okay, it sounds fun. I have a beast computer now, I can record. And then that's when my channel started inflating with subs and likes. You guys enjoyed my content, and it was honestly the greatest feeling in the world. And I honestly can't thank you guys enough, because we are almost at 2,000 subs already, and I reach my like goals really easily, and I honestly can't thank you guys enough. You guys are just the greatest, and I just want to say thanks, because you guys are what literally give me the strength now to do anything, and you guys are basically just the greatest people in the world. And there's nothing in this world I could do without you guys, and I'm probably never gonna quit YouTube. I mean, I do it for fun. I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for the likes, views. I really don't care. I just do it for like those people that really wake up to my videos and enjoy them. That's why I do YouTube, because I like making people happy. I used to be the class clown at my school. I loved making people laugh, and I always had these funny jokes, and my friends were always laughing, and it was just really great. And that's basically how I started on MCSG, and I'm not gonna switch to Hive US, but I am gonna record on there because I kind of do miss the Hive, because that's where it basically started. That's like where I got good at PvP. And that's when I started watching like Grape Applesauce and Huahui. I started watching him, and I started watching how he like played, and that's basically how I got a little bit better. And basically that's just it. That's my MCSG and my Minecraft history. So I honestly hope to God you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, be sure to leave a like. Let's aim for 300 likes this video. I don't care if we reach that like goal. I just want to see if we can. If we can, that'd be freaking phenomenal. I will literally cry. I will make a video of me crying. Oh my god, but you guys are just the greatest, and I just want to say thank you all so much. And I've decided that I'm going to do one of the biggest specials at 10,000 subs. It's going to be like a 6-part special. It's not going to be like a huge giveaway, like I'm giving away an Xbox One and a PS4. Yeah, it's not going to be like that, but it's going to be something you guys will enjoy. And at 5,000 subs, I actually have something planned. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I want to thank all my fans and all you. I want to thank all my fans and all my friends who actually helped me out and, you know, got me through YouTube. And I honestly can't thank them enough, and I can't thank you guys enough. So yeah, thank you all so much, and I love each and every one of you equally. And yeah, that's basically that, guys. If you did enjoy, be sure to like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. So peace out, everybody, and thank you all so much.